Take these down. All right. So, sorry. So for those that are going to be clicking on this live after it's posted, as you see in the description, first I want to apologize. I kind of got some new teeth going on. It's going to sound like I talk with a lisp, so I'm gonna do my best to talk a little slowly, a little bit more articulate. So, this video about will you find love this year? As you know, Valentine's Day is right around the corner on the 14th. Well, directly 3 days after that, we actually move on from the snake year into the horse year. So, with that being said, we're also in the universal 1 year. So, the universal 1 year is a good time for new beginnings. So, there's going to be a lot of new things happening all around the place. There's going to be probably new job opportunities for people, new business opportunities for people, new times to start relationships. It's also in the year of the horse, so that's a year for hard work and dedication. So I would definitely predict that a lot of people will probably find new relationships in the work atmosphere. But at the same time, though, that's not going to be for everybody. Everybody's path, as far as when they find somebody or they develop a relationship with somebody, is completely different. Now, the main reason why I want to bring this video up is that most of us grow up and we're taught from parents, we're taught from friends, we're taught from movies on, in a sense, how relationships work. Also with our own personal experience. Not many of us actually know what formula we actually have inside of us that will actually tell us how, not really how we would find attraction and develop relationship, but more or less what, what situation is best for us. And numerology and astrology actually tell you that. So here's the base thing. Before I continue any further, tomorrow on February the 5th, February 5th. So February 5th, tomorrow, February 5th at 6 o'clock Mountain Time, I will actually be doing a live class in my school. If you haven't joined yet, in the description, you'll find a link below. And actually, one of the main topics we're going to talk about is how do you, develop good relationships and partnerships based on your energy blueprint. So, based on what you learn, you can find this stuff up on the internet, but you find your 5 core numbers, which is going to be your life path number, your day number, soul urge, personality, expression. Now, see, the only problem with when you start to go on the internet and based on some people that you encounter, you don't get the full picture of what that actually is. One of the most important things out of those 5 numbers, as far as when it comes to finding relationships or partnerships, is you want to know your personality number. Depending on that personality number, because that's going to be how people really are going to, feel your personality from you. Hey, welcome, welcome. So with you, and that's also it's like your base form of your personality. So learning how to play with that and learning what mixes with that number is really, really important. I do apologize. I don't have an automatic translator, so I cannot understand the second post. But hello anyway. Um, so knowing your personality number, and then also when you go to your natal chart, is where you have 12 houses. Depending on where your Venus is located, is going to really be a big determining factor on. Oh yeah, no, I'm okay. It's going to be a really big determining factor on how you how your relationships go. And so, and thank y'all for joining too. Like I said, in the description, it has my school in there. Join it. Tomorrow, I'll be doing a live in my school talking about the same exact thing. Where are you from? I gotta say I'm from the States. I can't tell you exactly where, just for privacy. But and like I said, I got new teeth in. I'm trying to get used to them. That's why it sounds like I talk with a list. Um, so here's the thing when it comes to just numerology, right? Not all numbers get along. One of the biggest things they put out there is the numbers 1 and the numbers 9 don't get along. So hypothetically speaking, let's say you're born on a 1 day and the person you're trying to talk to is born on a 9 day. You're gonna have conflicts. That person could be attractive to you. That person could be, you feel that they're a good fit, but that's going to be an argument point. But that's not a make it or break it thing. So we need to break down everything that is going to go into how you and another person are going to go and get along. Like when it comes to the Chinese zodiac or the Vietnamese zodiac, you don't want to end up in a relationship as far as a loving one with somebody that is your opposing sign. So I'm born a year to dragon. I don't want to be in a relationship with somebody that's born a year to dog. That's not going to bode well for us. We might have a lot of traits that might make us good friends, but there's going to be years where I have to go through a negative year because it's the year to dog, and they're going through a good year. That's going to make us clash. Vice versa, when it's a dragon year, they're going to go through a bad year that's going to make us clash. Same thing in the Western Zodiac. 6 signs, like I'm also a Virgo. I do not want to get in a relationship with a Pisces. We're opposite signs. That's going to make us clash. And a lot of people don't pay attention to this because what the funny thing about it is life will try to trick you because it will actually make your opposing signs and the energy that's actually opposite of you actually more attractive. And they actually put this out in society. They will sit there and tell you opposites attract. No, that's not the case. You don't want to be attracted to the opposite. Having them as friends or having them as consultants is totally fine because the natural energy hitting each other will actually help out when it comes to career growth. It'll help out when it comes to actually like competitional things. But the moment you give the energy like love to something that is the opposite of you, it comes back opposite. It's not going to continue to grow, get stronger. And that's how people end up in certain relationships where they're trapped and it's a cycle. It's over and over and over again and they can't break free from it. So like just to give a little example too, how things work. So I'm born August 25th, 1988, right? So that means if you add my birthday together, I'm a life path 5. I'm born on a 7th day. My wife was born she's born May the 5th, 1999. Right, you add all of her all of her birthday together. She's a life path 11, born on a 5 day. So that right there, me being life path 5 and she being born on a 5 day, that's automatic synergy right there. We share that energy type. Now here's something I like to put out there. Talk about more later. 7 and 11 are fated numbers. There's this thing called letterology that I'll get into, which is different than gematria. It's letterology. If you spell out the word darkness and light, and I think it's darkness equals 7, light equals 11. So dark and light equals balance, right? So 7 and 11 are favorite numbers. At the same time, 7 is the genius. So that's the intellectual part. 11 is the number of emotions. So you got intellectual, intellectual intelligence, emotional intelligence, and they're coming together. So that's why you'll see a lot of 7s actually will have a lot of 11s around them and vice versa. So that's another thing that we click on. So we have the 2 5s, we have the 2 fated numbers. And as you go through what the rest of our numbers are, they're all complementary numbers. So like people born either have a 7 life path or born on a 7th day, they get along with people that either are a 3 life path or born on a 3 day. They really enjoy it, you know. Even though the 7 likes this alone time, it's something about the childlike energy from the 3 that the 7 actually really appreciates. You know, but 7s really typically don't get too along with 4s. It's because where the 7 needs to constantly expand their knowledge, a 4 is going to be more structured, more repetitive of their actions, and they don't really want to go too much further outside their comfort zone. And for a 7, going outside the thought comfort zone is a daily thing. They have to do that, and so a 4 will restrict them. And just like 1 and 9, 1 is a leader, 1 is argumentative, 1 is male energy, 9 is ego. That ego versus that male energy versus that dominance 1 has, that's why the 9 and 1 don't typically get along. If you have these numbers within yourself, though, they work different, because I got a couple friends that were born on a 9th, but their birthday equals a 1. So that is a whole different function. Like I said, if you want to join my school, I'm almost done with all my basic courses. I'm heading over to my advanced one. Every time I say you want to join my school, people leave. If you want to learn more, like I said, link is going to be in the description. Come on, join. It's 100% free. I'm doing a live tomorrow where I'm going to actually go over what letterology is, and then we're going to I'm going to teach everybody how to find out what their 5 core numbers are. But I'm going to get a little bit more in detail than what you can find on the internet. Because a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people just tell you all the good stuff. or they'll make up some like weird things. Oh, this number me. No, I'm gonna just give you the basics, and I'm gonna show you how to find out whether or not this year is gonna be good for you to find love. Cause I'll tell you right now, if you're born in the year of the rat, lay low, lay low. If you're born, so like if you're born, let me see here. I'm not gonna go for somebody at the age of 6, so it'd be 18. So if you're born in 2008, if you're born in 1996, if you're born in 1984, if you're born in 1972 and 1960, this is a year where you lay low. Don't start no new ventures. Don't get into no new relationships. Don't take any big risks because you're getting ready to move into a year where now everything. I forgot that law. If it can go wrong, it's gonna go wrong. You're in that type of year. But if you lay low, you pay attention to your blueprint and your path that you're gonna walk, which I can teach you. You'll be fine. But see, if you're in a horse though, this might be a grand time for you to start a new relationship. Like I said, it's universal 1 year, which means new beginnings. It's a year of the horse, which means if you're born a year of the horse, you're favored this year. It's going to be an outstanding year for you. So I'm not saying like go and beeline it and just try to get with the first girl that you want to be with or first man that you want to be with or however, you do what you do. But don't be surprised if opportunity shows itself. It wouldn't be a bad thing to go on with it. And to really hammer in why you don't want to be with why you don't want to be with your negative side is so like when I joined the Marine Corps, I joined in a dog year. My first 2 years were phenomenal. First phenomenal. My second 2 years abysmal. Shoot, right now if I stayed in, I would be like I think a year or two short from retiring from the military. If I'd have made it that far. So it's a sneaky thing that they do because they always have everybody graduate in the enemy year. So if you get held back and stuff, that changes. But normally the way they plot it out is for you to start school in your enemy year, graduate in your enemy year. That's how you know the elites and stuff are using this. You start school around 6, you graduate around 18. Those are both enemy years for you. And the ages of 6, 18, 30, 42, 56, 68, 80. Those are all enemy years for everybody. And opposing years. So think about what happens in your life around those times and then just really like prepare yourself for them. But yeah, no, as far as finding love, it's a lot more complicated. It's a lot more than looks. It's a lot more than, they said this and they said that or what family wants. You got to understand what you have built inside of you and what from you connects to the outside world. Because a lot of people are just going through blind. That's what they're doing. They don't know what's really going on. Even when I met my wife, I didn't know all this at the time. But as I found out, I got really lucky. I did. Well, I found out it wasn't luck. I found out that actually right around that time, I was actually meant to find her. Not to mention like the premonitions, deja vus that I had leading up to that moment. So there was a lot going on. But I know this is a pretty short live. I just want to come out and give a small example that if you're looking for love this year, I got you. Like I said, in my school, I'm gonna give it a live tomorrow. I'm gonna be talking about all the details and everything you need to know in order to find love. But I'm not just gonna point you and say go find it. I'm gonna point it to you and I'm gonna teach you how to use it and teach you how the flow happens. And this is just one part because you got love, you got career, you got family, you got issues you're gonna be going through. There's so many things to cover, and all of this is like to bring people up. Get the people that aren't heard. Like for me, before I met my wife, I had the title hashtag Mr. Forever Alone. That was me. I didn't have my first girlfriend until I was 30. And my second girlfriend, which ended up being my wife, I met her when I was 33. So you see how much I even felt that love. And it wasn't for lack of trying. I tried my damnedest throughout my whole life. And then it finally started working. And then when I found out about numerology and astrology, and I started looking at my own energetic blueprint, I found out why. But like I said, if y'all are interested, go ahead and give that link, click it or copy and paste it. And it'll take you right over to my school website called Dragon Sight Knowledge. Tomorrow at 6 o'clock Mountain Time, I'll be doing about a 1 hour to 2 hour live video. And I hope y'all there to join me. And like I said, it's 100% free. So there's no payments. Other than that, peanut butter jelly time. Y'all have a good day.